Welcome back. Bunch of USA to talk about. 2 games, 2 wins. Let's get into it.
Come on. I broke my thumb. That's
Just
all.
to let you guys know.
Yeah, that's all.
Starting off Saturday, 3-0 over Uzbekistan. Really good game. Good start to the return to internationals. It's a jumping point we need. Greg's first game back. Really in charge of the whole structured team. I mean, barring Adams, obviously, we know how key he is, but
most too.
Yeah, but
he doesn't.
That. Yeah, most of the players that we would be seeing in this team were selected.
Yeah,
really good start from one of the players that we've loved watching so far in the league this year, Tim Weah. 4th minute goal.
To go
off the rip.
Overall, though, the performance was bad.
Yeah.
It's Uzbekistan. We didn't look very into it at all.
No.
Pulisic, kind of Everybody was kind of
Yeah, that 3-0 scoreline really benefits us because it was 1-0 until the 89th minute.
Yeah.
So, it wasn't a great game.
Mm-hmm,
Obviously,
sure.
we heard some of that and saw some of that chirping on Twitter. We saw some Mexico fans saying, "Oh my gosh, you struggled with Uzbekistan," but
they tied Australia up, but
we'll keep it civil. But they didn't do great against Uzbekistan either. So Pepe gets that decisive goal. Really just stretches that lead out. Does exactly what we needed to kill off that game.
2-1, then Pulisic penalty. 3-0. It's a team we're obviously expecting to beat.
Right.
A performance we're a bit disappointed in. Pepe goal. As we see Pepe scoring again in the second game, which we'll get into, but it's some striker back and forth going
Isn't
on
this
here.
great, man?
I love it. It's finally happening. We were in a position.
We deserve it.
We were in a position a year ago where we pretty much had no 9, right? And now I feel like we're in a position to where we're seeing who's our 9, which we have a choice. Is these 2 are it, right? So everybody else has kind of either faded away or just kind of
realized their part.
Yeah, plateaued, and exactly. So Pepe and Balogun, right? It's these 2. And you know what? I have to give a shout out to Josh Sargent because he has been playing very well
on the top.
So maybe he's somebody who could jump in, maybe. But right now, those 2, those are Greg's guys for sure. Second game, 4-0, and a performance that represents that 4-0 too very well.
I agree.
A Oman team who was, I think, 1 ranking better than Uzbekistan in the world rankings. So better competition, better win. 4-0 though. Very, very good performance all around. The one player I would say that I'll point out now, before we get into all the good, I'll dabble on some not so good, is Pulisic was probably the quietest out of everybody. He had some chances. He played an okay part, but Pulisic, out of everybody else on the field, I felt like he was the most underwhelming for sure.
I agree, but he has played so many minutes so far this year, playing a lot for AC Milan, which we love. Playing a lot for the USMNT, which we love. It comes to a certain point where the legs get tired first go in on the season. We've only been in the season for a month. These guys are going to start to get tired. Their conditioning, obviously they tried to build it up, but sometimes it's just not quite there when you're playing twice a week, once a week for a month when you haven't played.
Overall, though, like I said, very good performance. The starting lineup, we start from the beginning as we do, a starting lineup I liked from Greg.
Agreed.
Overall, Horvath in goal, I thought that was interesting. We haven't seen too much of him lately. He had a good performance. I thought he was pinging some balls around and stuff. He didn't have
distribution,
really too many saves to make. Definitely good distribution. Dest on the right, playing a part, man. He got into it, the game, a little bit more, especially more than last game.
We love it.
He could have done a little bit more. He had some shots. He had some, he does his little dribbles,
Some chances created, definitely.
So he was more involved, and that's what you want to see. And most of all, most important for him is getting those minutes.
Yeah.
Because this man needs to play.
We know the talent that he has. We all know the talent that he has. But
we love it.
And we love it. And that guy is somebody that can be one of the best in that position if he truly commits to it and can get that game time like we know he deserves.
Yeah, he could definitely make a real impact, especially for our team. Like, he's already one of the more talented players, and you could say maybe he's somewhat of a leader in that dressing room compared to what we have around.
Right.
So I think he's a tremendous buy for PSV. We see a few PSV guys featuring today.
You know.
Overall, though, this defense, pretty good. Miles Robinson and Chris Richards, too solid. The defense really didn't have a whole lot to do today, though.
Not really. I mean, it's Oman, and, with all due respect to the players of Oman, we know what it is.
It's not.
So, and it should have been more of this performance against Uzbekistan. Good performance overall from the defense, what we expect. And then moving into the midfield, some good play that we saw. McKinney, great passes, really good distribution.
The long balls.
Man, they were just some peaches out to the wings. And like we said, Pulisic, a little bit lackluster on some of them and what they did. But for the most part, really good performance from that midfield too.
McKinney had, I thought, an outstanding game. I thought he was playing what he needs. He was doing what he should be. He's showing Allegri. I hope Allegri was watching why he needs to be in the midfield, not competing with Whale at right wing back. He's not a right wing back. Put this man in the midfield. He can do a job. Okay, he's a baller.
He just needs the game time.
Yeah,
and if he's not going to get that at Juve, hopefully he gets it somewhere else in January.
Yeah, Musa, another pretty good performance by that man, driving the ball up the field as he does, turning defense into attack.
It really surprises me sometimes how young he is.
Yeah.
Like, I have to remind myself, this dude is literally 5 years younger than I am, or 6 years younger than I am. Like, it's crazy to think about, as you get older, these players are just so good. Yeah. And it's tough to remember that he is only 19. So, hopefully he can go somewhere with this and really develop in Milan.
He's really got so much to show. Like, this kid is 19. You can see the potential. I mean, he could be I'm not going to say he's going to be a generational midfielder, but he could be one of the best midfielders of his age, right? So, call it what you want, but he could be that. He's only 19. He has so much room to grow. I hope Milan, like you said, is the place for him to grow like that. Tillman, another midfielder, had an okay game. Not as much as I wanted from him. He had some chances here and there. Another one of those PSV players we were talking about. I expected a little bit more, but not disappointed.
No, and the thing is, though, like you said, a little bit disappointed because you really want these players, when they get the opportunity, to really take advantage of it. They want to make that spot theirs because we know that that's a position that is up for grabs in this squad with Gio hurt. Mm-hmm. We don't really know if Aronson, can play that role quite as well as some of the other players in the team. But he has a shot to make that his own, and I don't think he really took advantage of his opportunity.
Definitely not. Yeah, I like what you said. He does have the opportunity to make that position, even with Gio in the team, especially with Greg at head coach.
Especially
if Tillman gives him any reason to keep leaving Gio out,
it's done.
Greg will do it. I guarantee it. Tillman scores just one goal, has an assist, and a good pass percentage or something.
Right.
Gio's out even when he's healthy, right? So Tillman, if he can find even somewhat of an excuse for Greg to put him in, I know Greg will use it and take it for sure. Moving on, the forwards, like we said, Pulisic, one of the more lackluster performances. Underwhelming for sure. Like you said earlier, a lot of game time though, especially compared to the rest of this USA team. Yeah. It's Oman. Who knows? How serious. All like the star players. Take it.
You hate to think like that, but it is true. Like that's just how you are as humans.
Maybe that's just me giving him an excuse for having a bad game too. Yeah. So Balogun, though, this kid is the truth. I love watching him play. Hope he thrives at Monaco. I'm not a Pepe hater. I want Pepe to do good as well. But thrives at PSV. Yes. I hope there's real competition.
20
in this
goals
spot.
each. in the league. We'd love to see it.
100%.
Would absolutely
100%.
love to see it.
100% want to see all the competition in the world. Make it to where you both have to play together. Make that a possibility or something. Why not?
Make Greg put you in the team, and we hope both of them do that.
For sure. You get the goals. That's literally all you have to do. That's what it's going to come down to for these two. Who's got the goals? No other aspect except that. Okay, I guarantee that's how we should be for the striker position.
Yeah.
You know,
whoever's in form.
Obviously, both of these players can play with others, right? So that's not even a question. Whether they can work together or not, they both can do the hold up play. They both can link up. They can do what they need to do as a striker in a team sport, right? So they just need to score now. Who's scoring the goals? Is it Pepe? Is it Balogun? Who's going to score more? It's going to be. This is the most exciting battle for a position, for sure, without a doubt. Like in our team, it's an attacker, striker.
Right.
You know what I mean?
And it's a fun position.
There's no other positions really. You can see a lot of competition. I mean, maybe center back a little bit. You see some, but right back, it's Dest. Left back, it's Robinson. We know
did see a good performance from Lund though.
Lund. Shout out Lund. Didn't even talk about him.
We know you're watching.
Some crosses. That man can cross. Balogun and Pepe, though, this is what we dream of as Americans. This is what we love to see. Can't say enough about both of these players, who both really deserve a shot. Honestly, just because of the form they've both been in.
Yep.
We see them both score today or against Oman.
We love when both of them score. One comes on as a sub. You get them those tired legs of your opponent, and you're just getting past them, and that's what we saw him do.
Yeah, Pepe with a cool finish.
He's so clean coming off the bench, and I'm expecting Balogun the same. I just honestly hope that Greg doesn't ruin these talents for our team. I mean, we kind of saw a little bit of hesitation from Balogun when he was coming off. Obviously, your striker always wants to stay on, score the goals, and especially when someone's coming on to replace them that is also in goal scoring form. You don't want that to happen, but there's a potential, a little bit of rumbling, some rumors that somebody went home pretty unhappy with how things went in that Oman game for them, and signs may point to him, we don't know, but we hope that he doesn't get messed up by Greg.
Yeah. Timothy Weah. This man has proven time and time again why he deserves to be at that right winger position. Okay, there was controversy before a while ago. People could have said you could put Aronson in there, even Reyna.
Pulisic can play on the right.
Tim Weah, keep him there, man. Him and Dest. I think Tim Weah does a lot of support for Dest. Yeah. They run for each other. They link up very well. I love seeing that combination on the right. Tim Weah, I thought he had a really good game, getting it behind. He was linking up, I think, the best with McKinney. I think McKinney was finding him in his open spaces the most. He was finding pockets to be found, to make runs in behind. I love watching him play. I can't say enough good things about Tim Weah and how much I enjoy watching him play.
And I think over the last 18 months, he's really developed into the player that we all hoped he could be, and that we all really expected him to be, with the amount of talent that he had. Coming through that PSG academy, that's nothing to scoff at.
Yeah.
There are so many ballers that have come from that academy that we all know of. And for him to get out of that and really take off on his own and now end up at Juve, we love to see it. And we love to see him doing so well for us as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Overall, though, I got to say, from the two games, I am fairly happy. You know?
2 wins.
3-0, 4-0. I'm not going to say super enthusiastic about it. Regardless of the opponent, you can only play what was put in front of you. But the first game, we just didn't play up to our standard. The second game, we won 4-0. We deserved the 4-0 win. We played like we should have won 4-0. I enjoyed watching. Its defense was amazing. Offense, midfield, like everything about it was a pinnacle performance for me to watch as a fan. Okay, first game not. So that's why I can't give it a solid 10 out of 10.
Right.
Greg Berhalter, though, I hope these games show him, maybe we do need Reyna.
How to figure out how to use one of the best strikers in the league, or in any of Europe's top 5 leagues last year in Balogun. Like, we don't know how to quite use him yet. Are you kidding me, dog? Like, don't even.
This man is not my favorite. He's not our favorite, as you know.
You know.
Okay? So, he needs to figure this out. He needs to figure out how to get Reyna in, because right now, even to this day, even though he's hurt, he's still probably our most technically gifted player. So why he isn't on the field for us is insane.
And why
I know he's hurt right now, right? Why he's not in the past? Why he's not doing that? So that's probably my biggest pet peeve, right? If Reyna starts, playing like shit and doing all that, then you drop him.
Obviously, as any player.
But every time he's put on that USA shirt and he's come on, he's played well. He plays well for his club. It's just his injuries. That's his biggest weakness
over the last
right now.
9 months.
If he can get over that, Greg needs to pull his panties out of his ass or something, because I'm tired of this.
They got to figure it out. Even though it's an international break, once again United find a way to ruin my week.
Oh, we talk about United every video, no matter what. It's United time.
I mean, I really cannot stand this time of the week, man. I talking about
United now.
I can't stand it. I hate it.
It's so much to talk about. There's always so much going on around that club. Before we get into that, is there any city drama, right? Okay.
I mean, other than that whack-ass Wolf of Wall Street meme.
Kyle Walker's new contract.
So
Kyle Walker, new contract. Come on, they thought he was going to Bayern. Good news for City. Good news for City.
First part of the international break, already off to a rocky start. We rewind. We go from the beginning, as we always do. Allegations come out. More violence allegations from our players, spouses, girlfriends, etc., etc. We absolutely hate any form of domestic violence on this channel. We do not condone
domestic violence.
Anything.
Put a big circle and a cross out right here.
Not happening. We don't approve. We don't like it. But we don't know what's going on with this. So the club has decided we're going to keep him out of the team. He's going to be on his own. We're going to figure it out. The police are figuring it out. That's all we can really focus on and say about that right now. And then the last couple of days, more drama. Other right-wing drama. It seems inevitable. Jadon Sancho, obviously we saw him put out a statement that Ten Hag isn't exactly telling the truth, but then we have more, news come out that Sancho has been late for training, hasn't performed at training. He's had all these, issues in the past over the last 18 months, or rules put in place for him that aren't for anybody else, telling him that the practice is earlier than it actually is, and it still doesn't work. You really have to put that on the player at that point. Figure out what's going on, how you can get that out of yourself. And we've pretty much just said you're on your own. Like, at this point, he's training on his own. Put out another statement FC for real. I mean, honestly, we see him on the sidelines by himself, training alone, not having anything to do with the squad until they figure out a decision. I think it's probably over for him.
That's it. That's all. US Sunday. Big news. Big 3-0. Big 4-0. Kyle Walker, new contract. United wingers are better at beating their girlfriends than scoring goals. So, that's all.
Make sure you turn these off before you go.
Okay.